right, get ready to get in. Get ready to get it in. Those of us that acknowledge or commit these actual violence and do so for pleasure of mental masturbation. We do so because the chains of oppression is not so deep and difficult. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. And as I always tell you, get ready for a rocky ride with the Open Eye third eye optometrist. Soon to be joined by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. I'm sure he'll be here soon. All right. I'm going to get right to it, like I always do. Got some community stuff to deal with here. All right, there is a Meet the Candidates event coming up for the mayor, city council president, 3rd and 4th district city council members, city treasurer. All candidates are welcome. It will be September the 2nd, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. sharp at Stubbs School. It will be at 1100 North Pine Street. It will be outside in the rear parking lot. Don't miss it. It is being sponsored by the 3rd District Neighborhood Planning Council, Movement About Change, One Village Alignment, Angels of Hope, Civic Association, Northeast Civic Association, Vanderbilt Avenue Civic Association, and WYVTDD. It is benefiting you, the community constituent. Hold your candidates responsible. Those requesting to serve you, hold them responsible. Please plan to attend. You need to be heard and your expectations should be known. If you live nearby, bring your own lawn chair. And this is a social distance and mask up event only. We have not held our elected officers accountable. The time is now. Okay? Now let me tell you something. The Open Eye. We are here to bring you information that you're not going to find anywhere else. That's our goal. I always let you know, well-researched information. Well-researched information. If you are looking for, and this is what a lot of people do, if you are looking for information that's going to support what you already believe, you came to the wrong place. The Open Eye is not about that. If you're looking for comfort, no, you came to the wrong place. The Open Eye is not about that. Okay? Like I said, the open Eye, and I've told you this many times, we're not corporate controlled. We're not controlled by anyone. We bring well-researched information to the air. That's what we do. Anyone want to challenge that, you're more than welcome. Anyone have any constructive criticism, you're more than welcome. I can accept that. I'm always with that. And like I said, people look for things that support what they already believe. Like I said, not going to have to hear. Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable. It would piss you off. This is called cognitive dissonance. And because it is so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in with that core belief. This is what people do. That's called cognitive dissonance. I want to say good morning to some people that are catching us on Facebook Live. Yes, we are on Facebook Live. What's up, Karen? Tony Watson. And of course, I gotta say good morning to my girl, my Facebook cuz, Sherry Bryson, and my co-worker and dear friend, Bessie. Say hi to all of y'all. You know, like I said, I have no problem with constructive criticism. But keep it respectful, because I'm going to try to respect you. If you can't, I would rather adjust my life to your accents than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect. That crap is not going to happen with me. And to make that clear, I'm going to say that to you again. I would rather adjust my life to your accents than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect. I earned this. Believe that. Yeah. Sad news. But first of all, let me say good morning to my brother.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, everybody. See?
What mic you on there, brother? Oh, okay, you're on mic 2. All right, get you up there.
Reading my color, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard
royalty.
that. I heard that, bro. That's word. Let me see. Trying to get you in on my Facebook Live too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let me switch it around. That's what
come swing around here. So,
that's what I was doing.
So, my cousin Sherry and Tony, and my play cousin Sherry Watson. Everybody can see my man here. That's word. All right.
I can stretch this right here to here.
Yeah, bring around mic 2. I have to back this up some. I got my little tripod. Hang in there with us. This is live radio, y'all.
Stay safe. That's good. That's right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You know me. I got 19, 17.
Yeah. We used to you, brother.
Yup. You know I'll make it though.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Sucky. Hold on, y'all. Help me out there, brother. That's what I have to put it like over there. But anyway, brother, we had some sad news come up. Early this morning, I heard about it.
What, Chadwick?
Yes, the Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43. Yeah, that's early. Now it got rotated. Back up. Right? Yeah, brother died at the age of 43. Chadwick, award-winning leading man, graduate from Howard University. He portrayed inspiring black figures in movies like Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson in 42, James Brown in Get On Up. That was one of my favorite. What we got here? That was a low one. I want to do that.
I'm trying to get it so to stay.
You got something going on here. I'm not sure what.
Come out. Hit the duck. Come out button.
I didn't hear. Hold up, y'all. Having a little technical difficulty here. What the heck is that about? Okay. There you go. All right.
My fault, y'all.
It's all good.
Yo, what's good? You see him?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, like I was saying about Chadwick, Get On Up. That, to me, was one of his best roles when he played James Brown. He brought the spirit of James Brown to the film. I mean, his performance was excellent. His performance was excellent. You might have to bring it over here, bro, because I mean, yeah. His performance was just standout. He should have won an Oscar for that. He did as well in his role as James Brown as my man Jamie Foxx did when he played Ray Charles. You know, it was just standout. And of course, his most famous role, he played the hero, the king, T'Challa, in the Black Panther. You know, and I tell you, in the Black Panther, that was a role, it was his most iconic role. You know, in the movie that was written and directed by Ryan Coogler. It became a worldwide movement.
And did you know, not to cut you off, but all the you know how they give the budgets out to the makers of the films and stuff like that? Well, their particular budget wasn't an expensive budget.
No, it wasn't on the level of the other Marvel films.
Right, of the other Marvel films. And you know, when they made that movie, they didn't expect it to be the #1 Marvel film ever. You know what I'm saying?
They did not expect it to be on the level that it was on.
It was actually the #1 Marvel film ever until they came out with the recent numbers. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's always, you know, messy. You know what I'm saying? But still, you know, that was an accomplishment in itself. You know what I'm saying?
It was, especially like you said, considering the lower budget that they gave that movie.
Right.
You know, it was it was, like I said, it was one of the.
I was trying to. You said both of them, so I gotta be right here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Like I said, you know, Chadwick Boseman, brother to be celebrated. You know, one of the best that ever did it. And can't tell you how much we appreciate it with this brother did as being an inspiration, not only in the movies, but for young people. Because he has so many people. Like I said, remember everybody was running around doing the Wakanda salute and what have you, Wakanda forever?
They was thinking that was the real city.
Yeah. A lot of people was thinking that.
They want to go to Wakanda.
So this is the open eye. What's up, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Yo, what's up? I'm glad y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a nice show today. Yo, rest in peace, Chadwick. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's crazy. You never know, though. You know what I'm saying? And we will be having these masks right here, too. Open eye.
Okay. All right. Open eye. WHGE 95.3 FM. Okay. Brother that I have a lot of respect for,
Right.
brother, I call him Baba Abdul Latif Hamid. Considering what's going on, he's pointing something out about the cops. You know, and what he pointed out was, are they duty bound or ego driven? Whether a cop should use deadly force. Consider the myths surrounding police chases and shootings. We all assume that it's the career criminals that tend to run, clowns and junkies. Okay? More often than not, it's people wanted for traffic only, minor misdemeanors or kids in a stolen vehicle. Do these violations warrant a danger inherent in a chase or deadly force, i.e. murder? There's a lot of folks losing their lives over the incidents that many times don't even warrant a night in jail. Why? Right outside my door last evening, a brother who was disgusted at the police or pissed off at his own condition saw the police outside their car and began to cuss them out. At first, they ignored him. And then after a while, they called for backup, and four of them beat the brother down as he valiantly or foolishly, depending on your views, tried to fight back being arrested. Okay, again, why? Doesn't the out-of-line brother have First Amendment rights? Is it illegal to talk crap to a cop? Since when? I'll tell you, since our captivity. What would his charge be? First-degree lip assault upon an officer of the law? Or too much mouth for an African American? Or would it be hurt officer's ego charge? At least Wilmington Police Department didn't shoot him for whatever. They think of something as they get there to shoot a black man vacation, while they meet with their union lawyers and eventually come up with a story backing up that they fear for their lives. You know, that fear for their lives excuse, you know, is one that always gets, when you hear a cop say, stop resisting, you know, you can have your arms down. You can have your arms behind your back, and that cop says, stop resisting, your life is in danger.
Man, it's crazy, man, because for the simple fact that now I was having a conversation with this guy is Spanish, and he kind of support Trump, and you know, I was like, okay, you can support who you want to support is who you want to support, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like, all right, first of all, we as black men, heterosexual black men, you understand? I demand respect. I don't care. If I'm giving it to you, I'm demanding it back. So if I don't get that respect back, now you're dealing with a different individual. Just from my attitude. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, if a police pulls up and I'm giving him respect and he's dissing or making me feel less of a human being than what I am, I got a problem with that.
Of course.
Okay. So, and that's where it escalates from, period. If you don't respect me, you're not going to get any respect. So, I understand they pull people over and they say, put your hands on the wheel and people be moving. No, listen to what the police officer says. That's all in the respect. Other than that, you know, it's going to escalate into something that turns into a black man getting killed because this guy with the gun, with this doohickey stick on, with this taser, with the radio to be able to call 50 other people, and life is in danger with someone that don't have any weapons. I mean, that's a problem to me. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? It all starts from the beginning. The beginning is the beginning. Respect. If you pull up and you pull me over and you giving me a problem, I mean, I got a problem now.
I heard that. You know what, brother? I tell you, this is what I always say. The goal is to go home.
Right.
You know? And
both of y'all, not just the police officer. The police officer always seem to go home. To me, I mean, I don't see 300, 400 police officers getting killed a year on pullovers from black people shooting them. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
So when you're dealing with these race soldiers, know that they are looking to escalate the situation. Okay? Because, you know, their goal is to take you down. It is to either beat you or kill you. So when you're dealing with them, you know, they're supposed to be trained to de-escalate the situation. But oftentimes, or way too often, they're looking to escalate the situation so they can do you bodily harm. So when you deal with them, as hard as it is, you got to be tactical. You know?
Paperwork.
Now, yeah.
They putting in paperwork
But I'm
on
saying
you.
when you right there in the situation, you have to be tactical. Because not being tactical and not dealing with the situation,
Right.
you know, can wind up with you getting killed. Deep down at the minimum. Now, it's not always going to work out even when you are tactical. I saw a brother who was, you know, being totally cooperative, put his hands behind his back and everything.
Right.
One officer's cuffing him up.
Right.
Another officer comes out of nowhere and hits him with a flying drop kick. What the hell was that for?
That's called a bank where I'm from.
Yeah.
I mean, just on some real. If I pull up and we rolling together, and I go in the store and come out and you're fighting or whatever,
It's on.
and I'm not asking no questions. I'm doing the Bruce Lee flying drop kick.
I heard that.
And that's what they do, and they are a gang. I mean, they do protect each other. I mean, that's their motto that they live on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you expect any less?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and that's the thing right there. Another situation. All right, you might remember this. It was a healthcare worker, not exactly sure what his title was.
Right.
But, you know, his patient was a special needs young man. Okay? And this special needs young man, I guess he had got violent or something. They called the cops. Now, he had calmed him down. Okay, and the cops came and they surrounded him and this, that, and the other. And a special needs patient was playing with his truck. And the healthcare worker laid down on the ground and told the cops, please, don't shoot him. I got him calmed down. Please don't shoot him. Now, he's laying on the ground with his hands up in the air. And the special needs patient is sitting on the ground playing with a toy.
Not even paying attention to them.
He
don't care about that much. Right.
That's right.
Right.
The cop shot the healthcare worker for no reason. And when he asked, it was a female cop. When he asked her, "Why did you shoot me?" She said, "I don't know. This is what we do."
And imagine if that just switched to people on the street carrying guns to point at the police officer. That'd be ignorant, man.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so ignorant that it'll cause for the president to send somebody in and more shutdown and under siege type of authority to kick in. Right. You know what I mean?
My man Trevor Noah.
They gotta do better, man. As a police force, you gotta train these police to be able to see handicapped and restricted individuals with mental issues. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if they're not being trained hand-to-hand combat, a lot of these black people don't even have a gun or a knife, anything, and they're getting shot 10 and 11 times. Yeah, that's ludicrous and ridiculous.
You know what I always say? It's not the training, because they don't have to be trained to shoot white people.
But I'm saying, I understand totally.
What's this? Sherry Bryson sent us a message. We'll get to you, Sherry. But anyway,
it might pertain to now. But anyway, yeah.
You know, it's real crazy, man. But at any rate, like I said,
why? My fault. But why would my thing is? We're of the older age group. We really were the ones that kind of calmed it down in the era when between 80, 79 and 89, 90, where it was, Fight the Power and Public Enemy and all the rap groups that were supporting the cause, which none of these rap groups were really people that come out now have a voice in the public and political situation, you know what I'm saying? And now that, the world is seeing all these black people being attacked and murdered through this government, I mean, the change has to start with the government. Yeah. If it ain't starting with the government, if they're not recognizing and accepting the fact that this is what they're doing to these individuals, it'll never be a change.
You got that right, brother. You know, my man Trevor Noah broke it down. He said, why do the police decide that some threats must be extinguished while other threats get the privilege of being diffused? We all know the answer. The gun doesn't matter as much as who is holding the gun. Because to some people, black skin is the most threatening weapon of all.
Now, how stereotyped is that?
Yeah.
And how racist is that?
Yeah.
That was one of the most racist statements I heard in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what my man is pointing out. That's the mindset.
I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's and that's the way it really is. Because I know I'm a black man, and it happens to me at least 4 or 5 times a day when I go in different communities that I go in.
And of course, the big issue right now, of course, is Jacob Blake, the brother that was shot in the back.
Getting in his car, saying to the kids they are right, didn't have nothing to do with the fight. Matter of fact, broke the fight up.
Right.
I think that's terrible.
Yeah. 7 times. Cop grabbed him by the back of his shirt and shot him 7 times. Now, if your response to seeing a black man shot over and over in the back is to say he should have followed instructions, you are part of the problem. Not complying with an officer is not punishable by death under any circumstances, let alone an extrajudicial execution.
I mean, the police officers are not judge and jury. It's
Right.
just right there. They are policy enforcers. And policy enforcers that turn to murderers, they different. They were murderers before they came to the police force.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? This starts way further back than them shooting this particular person. If you dig into their records of these people that did these things to these black people, I guarantee you see some type of evidence that's supporting their racist act.
You could believe that.
Yes.
You could definitely believe that. And you know, the fact that cops felt confident enough to shoot an unarmed man, unarmed black man.
No, and he a man, unarmed man. He
unarmed man, right? 7 times in the back after watching 3 months of protest tells you everything you need to know about the cops. They felt comfortable doing what they did to this brother. You know, and then to make matters crazier, when he went to the hospital, they handcuffed him to the bed. The hell kind of mess is that? Now, you know, he escaped death, thank God. But he's paralyzed from the waist down. But they still handcuffed him and shackled his feet to the bed. They removed the handcuffs. They did it under the guise that there was some outstanding warrant on him, which has been dropped. And because of the outrage that action was met with, they did remove the handcuffs from him. Now, something that I saw that bothered me greatly, and it happens in these situations way too much, is that his mother stepped forward. God bless her. You know she's all emotional and what happened to her child. But she said she already forgave the man that shot her son. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn thing. You know, and I know some people say, well, that's not the, you know, spiritual, or of course I'm not a Christian, but people say it's not the Christian way. You know, you gotta forgive those that wrong. I don't believe in that. I do not believe in that. Stop being forgiven with these brave soldiers out to that are participating in genocidal activity on our people.
And you know, what really crushes me to the core is that we've been so brainwashed and so trained to think it's going to be handled by something else, when even the creator tells you you have to put one foot forward, and then he'll help you. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't initiating whatever the cause and whatever the want may be, it'll never happen to you.
Right.
Or it'll never happen for you. And I'm just saying it and leaving it like that.
I heard that. I heard that. This is the Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
The Open Eye is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, founders and builders of the Pearl Center, the veteran-specific apartment building. Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware and the world.
And yeah, that was a live commercial.
Special Open Eye are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors who do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM or our sponsors, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets.
Hey, yo.
Any content provided by Open Eye
Facebook in the building.
Yo, you ain't on my camera.
I know you. I gotta say that. I gotta be right here.
I don't know. We gonna set that up. Okay. The Open Eye, WHGE 95.3 FM, Patrice and Nsoromma in your face.
Yeah.
On Facebook as well as on the air.
Yeah.
Now, Jacob Blake. Now, you know, I remember when Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee,
Right.
you know, and after they kicked him off the team, you know, there was a cry for people to stop watching football, but we wouldn't do it. You know,
I mean, why do we as a black community have to keep going through this? The Jews not going through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, any other nationality has been through something. Everybody's been through something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not constantly thrown up in their face and
Right.
constantly put in their society.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the bank, the white guy gets a better loan than the black guy for a higher interest. It's like it's inserted in this society of government.
And institutional racism, bro.
I mean,
Yeah. You know, and I would tell you, like I said, you know, see, this really speaks to what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying.
You know, because we don't have collective purpose. You know, I know some people that when, you know, Colin Kaepernick did what he did, some black people was like, yo, man, you know, I'm watching my football game. That's it. I'm watching my
And they
football game.
supposed to have been part of it.
Right.
Going, because this affects you.
Right.
And you are so blind and gullible
Mhm.
that you don't realize this affects your grandkids. It ain't
Mhm.
even about you no more.
That's right. That's right. See, and that's the thing. For some people, until it hits home, they're not feeling
It can hit home because they don't even know they got a home. And
That's
they don't
right.
feel that. I mean,
it.
that's how brainwashed it is. This is deep, brother.
It is, bro.
For real.
It
This
is.
is really deep.
Mhm.
And it saddens my
Well,
heart, man.
Here we are, you know, 4 years later, and what have you, a few years later. And since, you know, people went and stopped watching the sports,
Right.
the athletes stopped playing. I got to give big ups to those athletes in the NBA, and what was it, in soccer, and, you know, other leagues. I think it was baseball too.
Right.
Even hockey, all right? They're not going to the playoffs. They're not playing in the playoffs because they're not going to continue to let this go on. So in protest, they said, nope, we're not doing it anymore.
Right.
Another person that I'm really proud of and got to give much respect to is Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka is the young lady of Japanese and Haitian descent.
Okay.
Tennis player, tennis champion. She said, before I'm an athlete, I'm a black woman. And as a black woman, I feel as though there are much more important matters at hand that need immediate attention rather than watching me play tennis.
Definitely, sister. Definitely.
Much respect to Naomi
Now,
Osaka.
why take a strong sister to say that instead of, you know,
Mhm.
all these strong men athletes that's supposed to got behind Kaepernick?
Right.
I
You know,
mean,
you know, and you know now, you know, LeBron James, he's done a lot in the community and for the black community, starting a school, paying for college, and what have you. And I respect LeBron James, or King James as they call him.
right.
But when the brother came out and said, you know, I'm scared.
Scared of what?
Yeah, he's scared of what is going on with this police brutality and what have you. It scares him, you know, pains him in his soul to the point of fear. Brother, this is not the time for fear. This is the time for your warrior's heart to burn like a lion. This is not the time for fear.
But you know, fear brings out the warrior.
Yeah, sometimes.
You understand?
Yeah, I feel.
Sometimes
I
that
feel-
fear cut the warrior on. You gotta understand, and this is an icon that's, you know, he don't have to do the things he do. He
No,
don't
he
even
don't.
have to participate in the things that's going on.
Mhm.
But you know, I'm a warrior to the 10th power, and I tell you that all the time. I'm
Mhm.
ready to go whenever it is. The button is
I
right
feel it.
there. You know what I'm saying? So, within saying that, if I'm fearing for my life like I do when the police do stop me,
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
on war mode.
I heard that.
So I do fear the police.
You know what?
I don't fear.
Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is don't. I guess what I want to express is don't let that fear paralyze you.
Right, to be scared.
Right.
Because fear is not scared.
Right.
Right. I
Right.
got you.
You know.
And that's
Courage
just what
is
I
not-
wanted to break down.
yeah,
I wanted
Because only a fool is not afraid.
Right.
You know, I'd be more than, fearful of running into a burning building even if I did it.
right,
Courage is not the absence of fear.
right.
Courage is moving on and doing what you got to do in spite of the fear that you have to deal with.
Right, and that's how I wanted to, because some of our listeners don't get the full aspect of what you say sometimes, and they take it the wrong way. And I'll be trying not to. Don't get it misconstrued from this show.
No,
The open eye is truly here to educate. You understand?
big time. Big time. I express that usually at the beginning of every show to let you know that some people don't actually catch that.
Right,
Now, of course, when Jacob Blake Jr. was shot, our people are getting tired of this. And it was in Kenosha, Wisconsin that it took place. And there were protests. Of course there were protests. People hit the street and said, we're not going to let this go. We're not going to let this go. Now, during this protest, a young man from Illinois, next state over, his mother drove him along with his AK-47 or AR-15, whatever he had, Kyle Rittenhouse. His mother drove him to the protest, and he shot 3 people, killing 2.
that's what you call conspiracy, ain't it? She's supposed to get some time too.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's conspiracy to murder.
That's
That is
what
a
it
charge. She's supposed to get the same time, if not more time, than her son. Because
Mhm.
she was supposed to talk him out of it.
That's right.
Period.
You used to see her. She was malicious down when she took him there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one
17 years old. Now,
That's
what are you
one-
doing with a assault
She was
rifle
one of the
anyway?
trainers. She trained him to do that.
Yeah.
She did that.
She raised him to do
Yeah,
that.
she did that. I mean, Columbo is very easy if you really do detective work.
That's word. That's word. Now, he's 17. And what they're doing, what the press is doing, all right?
Watering it down.
Oh, they're watering it down.
Watering it down.
For instance, now this cat that shot 3 people, but the mainstream media featured him doing community service. They showed him he was doing some community service.
And
Both of
you don't see
John,
the racism in that. That's what I mean. The world should understand and see the racist act in that occurred.
Mm-hmm. To support what you're saying, both of John, remember him? He was killed sitting on his couch eating ice cream, and the cop ran up in his house and shot him. And what did they do? They said, well, he might have had some pot in his house. That didn't have a damn thing to do with this cop running up in his house and shooting.
And he said he might have some pot in his house.
It's
his house.
His house.
He can have whatever he want in his own private domain.
Right.
In his house.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, they're saying, well, and there's another thing here. They're giving the thing about, he was 17, he was a kid. He was 17, he was a kid. I don't want to hear that he's a kid crap. You know, I don't want to hear that he's a kid crap.
He was
Because
a kid when he was shooting.
that's right. Trayvon Martin was 17 when he was killed.
And he was a kid.
Right. And Americans said it was justified because he was wearing a hoodie. And that was a valid threat. Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 protesters in cold blood. And people saying he's too young to be held accountable. I don't give a damn if he's 17. He bought a gun from another state to shoot people. Try him as an adult.
Listen, man, if you know, right, someone is after you,
Mm-hmm.
and throughout all your life of being who you are, you know these people as murdering and killing your family members.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're old enough to defend yourself. Will you just let them same people come into your house and murder and kill your family that you have began?
Hell no.
Exactly. So we as Black Americans need to understand that that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to protect your family.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has the right to bear arms if you're not a felony.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a felon.
That's
So
right.
I say protect yourself.
That's right.
Because you're only a citizen when you can bear arms.
That's constitutional.
That's right. So go get protected.
You know, it's like, you know, it makes me think of the Deacons of Defense who protected the civil rights workers and what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were veterans, former soldiers, and they stepped up because they were not going to allow the Klan to continue to do what they were doing to our people out here fighting for our rights.
And that's what we need. We need the people with the right credentials and the right mindset to
Mhm.
step up and stand in front of the people that's protesting and the people that want to make the change. But have the warriors standing out front
That's right.
and letting them know that this is what can go down. We got the same thing, and that's what it is. No
Yeah.
one wants bloodshed.
And I'll tell you something else so that you are aware and you understand what's going on here. Don't get fooled by fake warriors, okay? Now, when I first saw these people come up, the NFAC, the Not Effing Around
Okay,
Action
coalition. Okay.
Yeah. Where they at? Okay? Because here's what I found out about them. Tariq Nasheed hit me to this.
Okay.
They only show up when they know the white supremacists aren't going to be there. See, they just for show. Their leader, what is his name? Grandmaster Fate, Grandmaster Flash, or whatever he calls himself.
I forget, my brother.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling this brother is an agent. You know, because now he's out here talking about all lives matter.
I mean, all lives do matter, brother. Don't sound like don't nobody else lives matter but ours, because all lives do matter.
Yeah, all lives matter. But right now we focusing on Black Lives Matter because y'all don't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
In this all lives matter situation.
In this all lives matter situation.
Right.
Because that all lives matter statement is what white supremacists holler to try to offset the fact that they don't want to recognize that Black Lives Matter.
No,
So they want to downplay that.
Offset the terrorism in their speech and their words.
Right.
They are terrorists.
That's what
Period.
they are.
All of them groups
And that's
are
what
terrorists.
that's what this Kyle, what's his name? What's the fool's name? Hold on, I gotta pull my other sheet up here.
Get your seat,
So,
brother. Get your
yeah,
seat.
Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what he was. Stop talking. Oh, the cops call him a vigilante. No, he is not a vigilante. And you know what? Now here's the thing.
That's what they do, though.
He didn't even, now, at 17, he didn't own his gun legally. I'm sure his mama bought it for him.
Right, because he was underage.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But because he was white, for hours, police watched Kyle Rittenhouse walk all over town with him and just gave him a pass. Then he murdered men and maimed others. Then walked right past the police and drove home to Illinois.
And I think all the people that he walked by as authority figures should be fired.
That's right. That's word. You know? And like you were saying, brother, Kyle Rittenhouse's mom, Wendy, On the same night her son murdered 2 people and shot another, Wendy Rittenhouse was at the protest as well, and she was armed up. Now, she ought to be charged, like you said, as an accomplice.
That's
She
right.
drove him there and drove him home, and knowing what he had done. She should be charged with felony murder and child endangerment, because this boy is under 17.
Right.
Now, arrest her, but that's what you need to do. You need to arrest her ass.
Right. How's he not in prison right now anyway?
That's the
another
good
form.
question.
That go another form of it right there. I mean, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
If it was a black kid, his whole family, everybody in the house would have been locked up. They went to the address and locked everybody up. The dog, everybody. They locked everybody up.
Yeah, believe that. That's where this is the open eye.
Nsoromma.
I got things to do.
You know what it is. We pop in every Saturday. You got some information you want to talk about, hit us up, call us. We'll link up with you. And it'll definitely go there. It's both sources. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's word. It will definitely go there. WHGE 95.3 FM. Me and Nsoromma. Now, one of the things you was talking about was them running up in people's houses.
Right.
All right. Now, first I gotta mention this before I get to this other thing here. You know they had the 67th anniversary of the March on Washington yesterday.
Yeah. Nah, I didn't know that. I didn't have no information about that.
Yeah, I knew it was the anniversary coming up. I didn't know it was yesterday. And I had some people run up on me real excited about it, right? And here's the thing. I just had somebody ask, where was the NAACP? Where's the NAACP with all of this going on right now?
Is that a black organization? Is it? I mean, I thought it was owned by white people.
Well, it was started by white people.
Me.
Yeah, it was started by white people. The leader from the early 1900s, the leadership was turned over to black people in the 1950s. And I know there's a lot of people out there with the National Association for Colored People.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But too many factors, or too many factions, rather, of the NAACP is the National Association for the Advancement of Certain People.
Them acronyms always hurt me.
I heard that. This is why other groups have come to the fore, because the NAACP's voice is, I don't say, it's old school, but it's passé, because they don't have the radical, the needed revolutionary spirit that is, necessary to face against the fight that we are currently in. They don't seem to understand that.
First of all, our fight, we got to understand, man. We always out here, and this got to be clear.
Okay.
We got to understand that we always out here stomping, marching, praying, stomping, marching, praying.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the key or the solution.
Mm-hmm.
The solution is putting in the paperwork to change some of these laws that affect us so that they can do that and not get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
See, they can do that and don't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we respond, we get in trouble because the laws are not designed for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make the change within the laws and these constitutions and all of these made up things that they put in effect to hinder us first. And before anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
For instance, and that, I'm glad you did it like that, because that's a nice segue into what I'm bringing up now. Okay? When we do protest,
Right.
okay, we're labeled inciting riots and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And we're targeted. Okay? For instance, in Tampa, on a Friday night, a week ago Friday, Tampa police officers attempted to disappear a black woman and a color change organizer.
Hold up. The police attempted to disappear. What's that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by disappear?
They what's the word I'm looking for? They secretly ran up into their house, sneakily ran up into their house. I can't pronounce the word, clandestinely, ran up into their house and arrested them, and, you know, shuffled them away, you know, and they did it. But they were so loud and ignorant with it
that people heard them. They were trying to do it sneakily so they could just disappear them, like you said. Come on, man.
Sadie Dean was home alone when a man posing as a maintenance man knocked on her door. When she answered, 9 tactical officers barged into her apartment and arrested her. They yelled at her and created such a scene that her neighbors came out and witnessed the violent arrest. The abuse continued as she was transported to jail. The officers drove violently, inexplicably transferred her into 2 additional transportation vehicles, all the while verbally harassing her throughout. So they arrested this woman. You know, everybody saw what vehicle it was in. So when they got a mile down the road, they put her in another vehicle. That wasn't good enough for her. They put her in another vehicle.
I mean, did the young lady get in trouble? Did she have some type of criminal record?
Well, she was released on bail.
She got some bombs. Was she a terrorist? I mean, that's them actions are terrorist actions. Obama sent them in there to get Bin Laden with the squad. They just went and got her. So why they need that kind of squad?
That's right. Because, see, America is so racist, okay, that when you protest against the racism that is America, it seems criminal to white America.
Well, but why? When you can go back in history and see all the violence that they've done throughout history and killing and hanging and burning down churches that still apply right now that they got in trouble for not once.
And that's something.
Yeah.
No, all the violence they put down, they have convinced the world
that it's okay.
That black people are dangerous.
We deserve this. It's a norm for them to kill us. It's normal. How can everybody in the world feel as though it's normal to see a black person killed? Oh, we ain't seen no black people killed today, man. Oh, wow. That ain't normal.
It's entertaining.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's entertaining. Now, Sadie Dean, she was released on bail, okay? And she's home with her family, but she still faces criminal charges. All this because Sadie attempted to cut off harmful contact by closing the door to prevent an escalation in physical violence with counter-protesters who were determined to get into a physical altercation with Black Lives Matter protesters more than 2 months ago. This clear violation of Sadie's home and her person is part of the systemic effort to intimidate and stop black people from demanding justice. This is what they do. This is what they do, okay? Stop from demanding justice. And get the ideal that for doing so, if you even do so, that's criminal. What kind of mess is that, brother? I had to check myself because I'm on the air.
Right. And now, you got the right to choose God or the devil. So you can't have the right to speak your mind or say something being done to you and you speak up about it. And that's against the law.
Yeah. That's the you know, and like you were talking about the systemic racism that goes on. You know, it just goes on. It just goes on. You know? And, you know, even some of our people, you know, I had a discussion with a brother yesterday, much respect to the brother. Right. But, you know, he was on that mindset that if the brother had just cooperated, they wouldn't shot him in the back. He getting in the car, and see, that's the thing. They put out a bunch of misinformation. Like he's going to the car for a weapon. No. was letting this situation go. That was what he was doing. He was like, you know what? I came here to stop what was going on. Y'all not gonna, turn this thing on me. I'm gone. Look, I got my kids in the car. Yes, I do have a knife in the car. And I don't want no smoke. Cop grabbed him, shot him in the back. Well, if he had just, and this is what, you gotta understand, this is what the white supremacists said. Well, if he had just cooperated, they wouldn't have shot him in the back. Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have. Just like earlier, Brother Hameen was saying. They will beat you for getting too loud with them.
I mean, when it all again, when they pull up, just like they demand respect, because they demand that. When they pull up and they hit their lights and they put their hat on, they coming out mean business, because they either can be shot at or they can be killed. Now, I understand that. But when you dealing with a person, you done ran their license plate. For you to pull them over, you have to run their license plate, or they have to do something. And they usually sit in the car until they run their license plate, and then they know who you are before they even come to the car, because that's the process. You understand? So once they get to your car, they normally know who you are before they even talk to you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you know I'm a nonviolent criminal and I'm not known for carrying guns, why am I getting shot?
Right, exactly.
It's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
Respect the man's respect, and that's where it starts, man.
That's where it starts.
When the police start respecting these so-called black guys that be getting shot up or have got shot and killed, it's a lot of us out here, and I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? You're one of them. I don't want to be not going home to my kids. I love my family. I love everybody that I am involved with and dealing with, because that's just the heart that I got. You know what I'm saying? And that has to be every one of us, not just me. And you're like that too. So no matter what is being said on the radio in your opinion about a situation, that's all it is. It's just an opinion. I might not feel like that, but that's just my opinion of the situation that's going down at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, like I was saying about forgiveness. I am not really a forgiving person, right? And when it comes to it, I will not forgive willful ignorance. If you ignorant because you decided to be ignorant, I can't forgive that. I will not forgive those that turn a blind eye to the injustice that our people are suffering. You see what's going on. And this is for our own people as well.
Right, but mainly for, white people. You see this happening too. Your voice is needed also. The ones that don't agree with what's going on and believe that this is the wrong situation. So once your voices are louder and, you take the stand more often, right? That's where the change begins. You know what I'm saying? With you.
With you, that's right. And I'll tell you something else too. I get really angry with Negro teens and dead wenches that let ignorance go. Okay? I have a hard time. I will not forgive those that will suffer the bigotry and injustice quietly. Don't let that go. I will not forgive those who continue to attempt to turn back the clock, constantly reinforcing the structural impediments that still block my people from being free. I can't forgive that. I will not forgive anyone that thinks a teenage boy should be treated as a child when he behaves under the auspices of white supremacy and don't get what's coming to him. I will not. Murder.
When he commit murder, that's you go from a child to a murderer. That's what it is. You're no longer a kid. You're a murderer, a kid murderer.
Yeah. I will not forgive anyone who has a problem with me being outwardly black. Y'all don't have a problem with LGBT people being out the closet and being openly gay. I'm outwardly black. You got a problem with that? I can't forgive you for that. You don't like it, you go to hell. And I refuse to sing kumbaya with people who have declared me and mine their enemy.
And you don't know us. And you don't know us.
And you don't even know us. That's word. And I will not forgive anyone who has the paternal arrogance to tell me how I should think and feel about this. I have seen inhumanity against my people way too up close and personal.
And that's from experience for over 50 years. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's just it.
You know?
You get experience from experience.
Yeah. You know, and I know some of my Christian and maybe some of my Muslim friends ain't gonna like when I say God forgives. I'm sorry, I don't. Okay?
I mean, that's again another choice that's on you. You got the choice to choose God. So God forgives, and you don't. That only have to be a personal situation. You know what I'm saying? So
that's between me and the
right.
Creator.
That's where respect is the name.
That's right. Well, y'all, we coming around here to we done went overtime. We be kicking it so hard, we only play music a whole lot no more. And you know, that's word.
Yeah,
Like I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you. And don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
WHGE 95.3 FM.
Y'all got.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Yo, hi, your shoes. What's up? I know that other guy, man. That other guy. The other guy, the shoes. I be telling you.
Sorry, we didn't get the camera straight and get my man on the way in there. We here, and we both recorded the show, so make sure, you know, that you catch us in. That's right.
11 to 12.
Yep.
Send your questions early, too, so we can address them and already have them in the lineup so we can drop sides and talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
It's just that real. We just